Hello, it's Davey Mooney coming to you from the University of North Texas, where I run the jazz guitar program. Benedetto artist, Sunnyside Records artist, y'all. Got The Word, got Way Back, live at National Sawdust, Benign Strangers, Hope of Home. Did I say The Word? Yeah. And Perrier Street. I've got 3 Mel Bay books, and yeah, got a lot going on. I just got back from Smalls Jazz Club in New York. Had a real good time playing with John Ellis and Jochen Ruckert and Hamish Smith, my new friend, on bass, and the great Glenn Zaleski on piano. That's on YouTube if you're curious. You can look up, what is it, Thursday, February 26th, Davey Mooney Quintet, Smalls Jazz Club. And let's see, it's, what is it, late February? Oh wait, no, it's March 1st or 2nd, 2026. And, you know, just getting it done, y'all. Cruising into spring break here, and doing what needs to be done. But that's not what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about the song All or Nothing at All. It's written by a man named, what's his name? Arthur, I looked it up. Arthur Altman. And I didn't have that sort of memorized because to me this song always sounds like it's like a Cole Porter song that Cole Porter didn't write. I don't know, it just has that Cole Porter vibe to me. And there are some differences, but even like, you know, the long form aspect of it, you know, the 16, I think all the sections are 16 bars. There's an A, A, B, A. The last A is a little different, but it just kind of has that just one of those things from this moment on vibe, but it is not. It's written by a man named Arthur Altman. I was looking up, doing a little research. I believe that Sinatra first recorded it in the late 1930s, I think 39, but then it was released during the recording ban, the musicians' strike, in I think 42, 43, and it was a big hit. And he recorded it again on Strangers in the Night, what is that, 66, with a really cool Nelson Riddle arrangement. Love that. Love me some Nelson Riddle. And I actually first heard this song on a Diana Krall record called Love Scenes when I was first getting into jazz, and with Russell Malone and I think Christian McBride. Really nice version. And then, of course, Kurt Rosenwinkel on East Coast Love Affair, and then again with Mark Turner on the Mark Turner album Ballad Session, and, you know, a gazillion other recordings. I didn't go through all of them, but I went through a few. But it's a nice tune, and the you know, the original, both Sinatra versions are A minor. Rosenwinkel's A minor, Diana Krall is D minor. You know, the female voice is a little going to be different than the male voice usually. And yeah, the basic idea, there are some differences, yeah, in the different versions harmonically. The original, the Sinatra original, or it was the Harry James Orchestra, is actually pretty close to what Rosenwinkel plays and what I play mostly. You know, I don't remember where I learned this song. I think this was one that I kind of picked up on the gig, or just maybe in a session with somebody, because it wasn't in the original real book. And you all know I own up to learning a lot of my songs initially from the real book back in the 90s. But anyway, the basic idea is you have this A minor, and a lot of versions will have a sort of quasi, I don't know, Stairway to Heaven, you know, My Funny Valentine kind of thing going on. So you got A minor for pretty much every version has that much, at least. A minor, sometimes there's some other chords in there, but A minor for about 4 bars, and then a B flat 7. Let's see how many bars. Appeal to me, sorry, for like 6 bars. And then different versions, like for instance, let's see, Sinatra, the Rosenwinkel, he's got the kind of A minor. Nothing at all, half a love, and then G minor, C7, never appealed to me, to B flat 7. That Sinatra Strangers in the Night, as they go like, oh, right to a B flat 7 in the second bar, nothing at all, they have that really cool Nelson Riddle thing. Let's stick with I think the Rosenwinkel changes are pretty close to the way people do it these days. So he's got his A minor, walking down 2, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, G minor, C7, B flat 7 for 2 bars, like a G minor, and he walks down kind of like E minor 7, flat 5, and A7, or sometimes they'll just go just to A7 for a bar, D minor, and then like a D sharp diminished, which is pretty common. That's on that original Harry James Sinatra recording, and then back to a D minor, G7, C. That's the A section. So one more time. Again, these are like the kind of the way I play it, and also sort of the Kurt Rosenwinkel changes. He goes, oh, nothing at all kind of A minor, and he does a G minor, C7, B flat 7. Some people will just keep it on A minor until the B flat 7, but he sneaks in a little G minor, C7 before the B flat 7. Then back to G minor. Might have been D minor, D sharp diminished, flat 2, D minor, G7, C major. Then the bridge goes to A flat, kind of E flat sus. A lot of versions just stay on the A flat chord. I think Rosenwinkel goes kind of A flat over C, B diminished. You can't really, there aren't really chords at that part, but the bass is definitely going A flat, C, B, B flat minor, E flat 7. Then you stay there. Then you go down to like a 2-5 to F minor, then a D flat 7, C7, and then either like a B minor 7 flat 5, E7, back to A minor. One thing I like about the Diana Krall version, and this is kind of the thing with this song, the bridge, it can really like hang you out there on that A flat chord for a really long time. Like some of the, you know, put your lips so close to my cheek. It's a lot of A flat. Don't smile or I'll be lost beyond recall. And some of the vocal versions just, it's A flat for what was that, like 6 bars or something. So it's nice to have, Rosenwinkel goes from A flat to E flat sus. The Diana Krall, they kind of go 1, 6, 2, 5. So they're in a different key, but it's basically like, please don't put your lips so close to my cheek. And then here they go like 1, 4. So it gives you some more changes to play on, you know, than the B flat minor, and the 2-5 to F minor, F minor, D flat 7, C7, and then E7 or B minor E7. And that's a really interesting end of the bridge, you know, the idea that you have like B flat minor, 2-5 to F minor, D flat 7, C7, E7. Really cool kind of modulation from, you know, F minor to A minor, which is sort of foreshadowing a little bit for the ending, the last eight bar, the last A section, last 16 bars. So you have A minor again. Sometimes people will go G minor, C7, C sharp diminished, G minor. The East Coast Love Affair version, it's kind of G minor, like I said, walk down to a 2-5 to D minor. And then the last time, instead of going to D sharp diminished, you go to say no, say E7, then A minor, or F minor, C major. So yeah, that's the whole song. I'll just go through it one more time because I feel like sometimes my brain gets confused with all the little variations that come up. But I'll sort of do the East Coast Love Affair changes one more time. So you got A minor, nothing at all, kind of with the walk down thing, My Funny Valentine, G minor, C7, B flat 7, G minor, 2-5 to D minor, D sharp diminished, D minor, G7, C major. And that's the first A. The second A is the same, except then you do a 2-5 to go to the bridge, A flat, E flat flat 7, B flat sus, A flat major, C minor. That was like, you know, A flat over C, B diminished to B flat minor. You stamp B flat minor. You can kind of do the walk down thing with My Funny Valentine again. Then a 2-5 to F minor. D flat 7, C7, E7, A minor. Then last A. Under the spell of your call. A minor. Caught in the undertow. B flat 7. G minor. A7, D minor, E7, A minor, F minor, C. And that's it. And there's kind of like a, I guess for lack of a better term, sort of Afro-Cuban Latin jazz vibe on the East Coast Love Affair version. Strangers in the Night, it's kind of more, you know, just swinging. Nelson Riddle vibes. Diana Krall's pretty swinging too, yeah, but, you know, for playing on it, you know, it's kind of, I don't think it's harmonically that complicated. You know, you have a lot of A minor. I guess that's a little unusual. G minor, C7, B flat 7, I guess. Other than to sort of simplify the explanation and say I just play jazz vocabulary stuff. I guess I'm treating that G minor C7 as kind of like a 2-5 that would go to F. And then just kind of make it go to B flat 7 sharp 11, so that's kind of like Lydian dominant, you know. I think that B flat 7's definitely got an E natural in it. And then the G minor again. I kind of think, honestly, I sort of think G minor, C7, and then I make the C7 go to D minor. The C7 going to D minor is not that strange, right? If C7 wants to go to F, it can kind of go C7, C sharp diminished D minor. But you could also go G minor, kind of imply A7 to go to the D minor. It's pretty closely related, you know, C7, especially like C7 flat 9, A7. And then the little D sharp diminish goes by pretty quickly, but I kind of think of that D sharp diminished as like a B7. And then just make it go back to, you know, sort of the flat 3 diminished in the key of C. Make it go back to D minor, 2-5 to C. Then the bridge, yeah, it is the bridge is the part that's a little bit awkward, unless you if you, that A flat just goes for so long. But yeah, A flat, you kind of need some chord every other bar. Sometimes I'll imply that, so I'll imply like A flat major, E flat 7, A flat, E flat 7. And before the B flat minor, I'm kind of thinking A flat 7, maybe like C minor, F7, B flat minor, just to give me something to play over. B flat minor to C7, because B flat minor, you know, you put a G in the bass, it's G minor 7 flat 5. So I kind of just stay on B flat minor until the C7, F minor, and then, you know, the upper structure of that F minor, it's kind of like if you make it F minor 7 flat 5, then you have your B flat 7, right? Because D flat 7, because D flat 7 from the third is F minor 7 flat 5, so it's pretty close. It kind of has like a bluesy vibe too, right? C. So that's kind of the interesting part, right? F minor. Yeah, like C7. In that case, it's almost like E minor 7 flat 5 to E7. So that's interesting, right? So F minor, D flat 7, C7. Sometimes I'll think of the C7 more as like a C6, so that it's almost like an A minor with C in the bass.
it's kind of A minor, E7 back to A minor.
Half the time I forget that last A section. If I haven't been playing the song in a while, I forget that the D minor that time goes to E7, and then A minor, 4 minor, F minor, C major. So, but that last A one time. So sometimes I imply like an E7. G minor. Anyway, yeah, it's a fun little tune, and it's definitely entered the modern jazz repertoire via the Mark Turner and Rosenwinkel and many others. But I really like that Sinatra on Strangers in the Night, such a swinging arrangement. But anyway, I'm going to play some choruses on it, and I hope you enjoy it. All or nothing at all.